The story of the 1955 wheat penny begins in the mid-1950s, when the United States was experiencing a period of post-war growth and prosperity. The Lincoln wheat cent had already been in circulation for more than 4 decades since its introduction in 1909, and it continued to symbolize American stability and progress. Designed by Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse shows 2 stalks of wheat framing the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, along with the national motto, E pluribus unum. By 1955, the Lincoln cent was one of the most recognizable and trusted coins in American pockets. The Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints were all busy producing coins for circulation, but 1955 would go down in history as one of the most famous years in the entire wheat penny series, largely because of one dramatic minting error that caught the attention of collectors nationwide. The 1955 double-die obverse penny became legendary almost overnight. The error occurred when the die used to strike the obverse side of the coin was accidentally impressed twice slightly off alignment. As a result, the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appeared doubled and clearly visible to the naked eye. This was not a subtle mistake. The doubling was bold and unmistakable, making it one of the most dramatic and sought-after mint errors ever produced by. The U.S. Mint experts estimate that around 20 to 24,000 examples of the double-die obverse were struck before the error was detected, but only about 10 to 15,000 entered circulation before officials discovered the problem. The rest were reportedly destroyed, but many of those that reached the public were mixed into cigarette vending machine change rolls distributed across the northeastern United States, including Massachusetts and New York. As people began to notice, the strange-looking cents word spread quickly, and the coin became a sensation among collectors and the general public alike. The 1955 double-die obverse. Penny turned ordinary pocket change into treasure hunts across America. Newspapers picked up the story, and coin dealers began offering high prices for confirmed examples. Soon, every roll of pennies was being checked in homes, schools, and offices. The coin became a symbol of how a small mistake could capture national imagination. The fascination also helped bring many new collectors into the hobby during the 1950s and 1960s, even decades later. The 1955 double-die penny remained one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history and continues to be a centerpiece in numismatic lore. Aside from the famous error, normal 1955, wheat pennies were struck at 3 mints. The Philadelphia Mint issued coins without a mint mark. The Denver Mint used the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint used the S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced about 330 million coins, Denver produced over 563 million, and San Francisco produced about 44 million. The San Francisco Mint coins from 1955 would be the final wheat pennies ever struck there, since the Mint ceased producing cents after that year, marking the end of an era in San Francisco coinage. Collectors today look for differences between regular issues and the famous double-die obverse. The normal 1955 cents are common and can be found in circulation, or coin rolls, even today, though they are usually worn. The doubled die, however, commands thousands of dollars, depending on condition. A circulated example can bring several hundred to several $1,000s, while high-grade, uncirculated examples have sold for tens of thousands, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever produced. The coin's fame has also inspired numerous counterfeits and altered coins, so experts always caution collectors to have a coin authenticated before purchasing. The 1955 wheat penny carries historical significance beyond its rarity. It represents a snapshot of the 1950s, an era of optimism, industrial growth, and rising interest in American history. Lincoln's portrait on the coin resonated deeply with a generation that had just come through World War II and was experiencing renewed national pride. The wheat reverse still symbolized abundance and hard work values, deeply tied to America's identity, before the coin's design would change to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. The production process of the 1955 pennies also highlights how technology and human error intersected in mid-century minting. At that time, dies were still being prepared manually, which left room for such doubling mistakes to occur. Today, computer-controlled systems make similar errors far less likely. The 1955 doubled die stands as a reminder of how craftsmanship, even with mistakes, can produce something of lasting cultural value. Over the decades, the coin's mystique has only grown. It has been featured in numismatic magazines, documentaries, and television programs. Its story has been retold in classrooms and collector clubs around the world. The 1955 doubled die penny has come to represent not just a rare mint error, but the excitement of discovery, the thrill of history found in everyday life. It turned ordinary people into treasure hunters and helped popularize the study of coins among Americans. When collectors hold a 1955 wheat penny, they hold a small piece of mid-20th century America, a token of both the mint's precision and its human imperfections. Whether it is the common issue or the legendary doubled die each 1955 cent tells a story of change craftsmanship and the enduring legacy of the Lincoln cent that began back in 1909 and continues to fascinate collectors generations later. The deeper history of the 1955 wheat penny begins long before that year's coins were struck. It reaches back to the origin of the Lincoln cent itself in 1909, a time when President Theodore Roosevelt was determined to beautify America's coinage. Roosevelt believed that coins were miniature works of art, and he wanted designs that reflected the nation's ideals of liberty, progress, and honor. To mark the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth in 1909, the U.S. Mint decided to place the image of the 16th president on the 1-cent coin, a bold decision because it was the first time a real historical figure would appear on a regular circulation coin. Before that, American coins had always used symbolic figures such as liberty. The artist chosen was Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian immigrant whose admiration for Lincoln was deep and personal. Brenner modeled his design after a plaque he had earlier created of Lincoln based on a photograph taken by Matthew Brady. The result was a simple yet powerful portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse design featured 2 wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity and America's agricultural foundation. The design carried the inscription, 1 cent, United States of America, and e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. The wheat ears gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny or wheat cent. Through the decades, the Lincoln wheat penny became more than a coin. It became a symbol of American endurance through wars, economic hardship, and social change. It circulated during World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, and the Korean War. By 1955, the wheat cent had been in the hands of millions of Americans for nearly half a century, and each coin had its own journey from mint to market to memory. The design remained mostly unchanged, although small variations occurred in mint marks and metal composition.